Hi, it's Brandy Alexander with your weekly reading from October 15th to October 21st. I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to upload more videos from Bali, but I can tell you that the spiritual experiences were huge. And Bali holds a definite special place in my heart, and I have some very special friends that are like family to me there. And anyway, one day I might take a little group over to Bali. If you're interested, you can always get in touch with me. So, the cards this week, I decided to do some more Australian bushflower essence cards, and they are all about the heart. They are about nurturing yourself and trusting. That's in a very general sense. The first card I pulled was Alpine Mint bush, and if I'm not mistaken, we had that a little while ago. It is all about revitalization of caregivers, and it can be caregivers in many situations. Parenting, it could be for teachers, it can be for counselors, anyone that's dealing with people's feelings, people's lives in a big way, people that might feel that they're making decisions for people that will affect their lives. And it could be for doctors, any types of therapists. And just from the cards that I'm seeing and from the things that are being presented to me, I really feel like people need to take stock of where they are leaking their energy, and because remember, you need to look after yourself first, because you can't look after anyone else if you're not looking after yourself. I believe too, the Alpine Mint bush card is a little bit of a warning too, that to take some prevention before your immune system starts to break down. So the Alpine Mint bush will help for you to have some revitalization, joy, and a feeling of renewal. The negative conditions which you might recognize in yourself are mental and emotional exhaustion. So there's many people I know that are in professions that will be the result of their work that they do, especially people that like a lot of people that I know that are in these professions are very compassionate. And when you have a compassionate heart, a lot of teachers I know, they've got a compassionate heart, and it is very, very taxing on their nervous system and their emotional system. You can end up taking on your clients or the people you're working with or trying to help you. You can take on their vibrations, and it will start to affect you with a lack of joy, and it plays on your mind. It can even cause sleep disturbances. Interestingly enough, in the Bushflower Essence book, when I was reading more about the Alpine Mint bush, it can even be anyone that is in a managerial role, where you're looking after big teams, people that are doing budgets, all of that. You might have to let people go from jobs. So that's like you don't want to, but it's part of your role. So anyone that's in a position where they're managing a lot of people, Alpine Mint bush is the essence that's coming up right now. So it's it's for so many people. Pretty much everyone, I'd say, especially if you're a parent. So that, remember, it's giving joy and helping you to assimilate and not be hard, but to sort of put some boundaries there as well. Their problems are sort of your problems, but they're not problems for you to take on internally in your heart or your nervous system. It's more head thing. You need to learn to use your head. The Bluebell is interesting. It's very much a heart flower, and the heart keeps coming up because there's some other cards too. So the Bluebell will help with opening the heart to believe in abundance. And so we've come across this not so long ago, to trust. You need to trust that everything's going to be okay. Remember how I was saying a while ago that you can't force situations. You need to just go with the flow. As soon as you are pushing your agenda onto the universe, you can feel it. It's like those opposing magnets, the magnetic force. It's not working. So it's like tuning in, tapping in to get to know when you're pushing your own agenda or when you need to put some effort in. There's a fine line. You'll get to know the difference between what's a good effort and what's an effort against opposition of the universe. It's about universal trust and joyful sharing. So sometimes when there's a lack of something, it makes you pull away. It can make you be a bit greedy or not able to trust, I suppose. So it will help with joyful sharing, to share in abundance. The negative conditions are emotionally closed, so it can be, interestingly enough, with the Alpine Mint bush, it could be almost the opposite. Some people that have closed themselves off because they've been hurt so much, or because of the way they were brought up, they were taught not to express their feelings. The long-term effects of this card have a lot to do with the heart, and it talked a lot about people that have heart attacks or heart surgery. Quite often after they've had their heart repaired, they will have a lot of emotions released and expressed. It said especially men. So it is about opening up and noticing the feelings that you're having and being able to feel them and express them, especially with loss and grief. I've had a lot of that coming in this week with various clients and family, and it is really important to I know, loss and grief, you feel the pain, it's awful, but we need to go through it, we need to feel the pain. It's an experience in our life, unfortunately, but it is our life. It's fear of lack, it is greed, it is rigidity. That is the negative condition. There's a lot about spring cleaning and getting rid of clutter. We've had this from way back, quite a few months ago, with the moving on in your lives, the new things that you're taking up. It's about kind of like starting fresh, letting go, and not getting too hung up on possessions. And it could even be like career change, not getting hung up on that. And even housing. There's a lot of people that I know that are going through housing changes, career changes, relationship changes. So it's all about not getting too hung up on that. If you get too hung up on that, imposing your old rigid views, you don't have ways for the fresh new things to come in. So the Bluebell, all about opening the heart and trusting, and look around you to see what you need to get rid of. I know I've got a lot, and I've been working on it, and it's a lovely reminder. It's such a lovely reminder. Those two cards are wonderful, even for me to take upon. Is that the right way to say it? I think so. Interestingly enough, we've had Krishna not that long ago. It might have even been the last card reading. It is find blessings in your current situation. That was interesting because, yes, that was in the last card reading I did before I was going to Bali, because just like Pan, she was playing the flute and it looked sort of like wings, the symbolism that was coming, and she's walking on the water. So, there's whatever your situation is now, please note the good. There's a lot of messages in there for you. There's probably signs and symbols around you to give you hints of that your angels and guides are with you, and that they're giving you messages to help you through, to say, yes, trust me, it is going to be okay. It is going to be okay to make these changes and to open up and be a little vulnerable. There's vulnerability with all of this. And oh, I wanted to keep that open, but this is about St. Francis and follow your heart. So follow what's true to you. There's the doves come in, there's peace, you know, I always assume doves are peace. And when you can follow your heart, what's true to you, not pushing your agenda, it's like a divine knowing what you're to do with your life and your life path with your heart. And you will get a peacefulness in the long run when you follow your heart. And I just wanted to see, was there anything else I want to tell you about that? It did talk to, because St. Francis is the helper of animals, so any of you that are having an interest in working with animals, that was a definite sign. And actually I saw this is interesting, because this week there was a message about animals have such feelings as well. I was driving to work, I saw on the highway a little peewee bird. They're black and white and they're kind of annoying, but I thought, isn't it odd, it's on the side of the road and it's flying off and it's coming back. I looked in the rear vision mirror and there was something flat on the ground, and I realized it was probably its mate, and it was, you know, stressing. But it was flat. And my heart really felt for it, because it was, you know, I have to look up, I don't know if they mate for life, but I was like, oh, the poor dear, it's like, it's sad. And this week I've come up with clients with lots of loss and grief, so heart, and that we need to feel these emotions. This card too, following your heart, it is whatever your heart's desire, the answer is yes. So trust, it's about trusting yourself, and the universe will ensure that your desires will manifest. Remember, timing, divine timing is not our timing, and you just need to be patient and do the best you can in this time. So look after yourself. Don't let the burden of others' problems take over your own life. If you need some Alpine Mint bush as an essence, please get in touch with me. You can message me and I can make that up. I can send it to you if you need it through Australia Post or the Bluebell. They're probably a good combination together. And until next week, put your hand on your heart, take a nice big breath in. Actually, I do want you to breathe, because I read the story about the Alpine Mint bush, and it has a very good scent, and there was a little story about the man when he discovered it, and he took a big breath in, and I thought, there you go. Breathe in, and breathe the negative energy out, and breathe in all the positive energy. So look after yourselves, and it's, you know, as I'm doing this, it's a new moon, so set your intentions if you're watching this close to October 9th or 10th. And until next week, keep well.